Hi everyone.
Have you ever faced a situation where you, for example, started talking or doing something at the same time as your friend?
Nah.
No. You think you're being funny, but you're being really, really childish.
We're sure that this has happened to everyone at least once in their life, because thoughts, especially those of close people, often coincide. But sometimes the level of synchronization is simply amazing, especially when those actions are caught on camera. It's not so easy to do. But today we've picked some incredible examples for you. What is this? An amazing coincidence, or maybe a glitch in the Matrix? Decide for yourself. Let's get it on. No matter what you say, Cristiano Ronaldo is a brilliant footballer, and not everyone can repeat many of his tricks on the pitch. After all, few people can boast Ronaldo's fitness, perseverance, and dedication, or talent. For example, not every footballer is capable of making a bicycle kick in such a beautiful way and scoring a goal at the same time, but Gareth Bale can.
In the box waiting for the cross, and it was Bale!
He also shoots as if he were in sync with Cristiano at the moment, a precise shot. In football, as in many other sports, there could be only one ball on the field, otherwise the game would be meaningless. But sometimes a team's players synchronize unexpectedly, and yes,
Cayó el israelí a banda para echar una mano ahí en ese saque de costado. Y hay dos balones en el campo.
Now there are two balls on the field. Thanks to James Rodriguez and Fabio Coentrão, maybe they wanted to get twice as many points for Real Madrid. Whatever you say, Lionel Messi is a recognized master of football, a true virtuoso and practically a magician. Sometimes he seems to literally hypnotize the defenders of the opposing team to deceive them, but it seems that his skills are not limited to this, because Messi also knows how to synchronize with other players, for example, with the Uruguayan national team defender Diogo Godin. Or maybe it's also some kind of weird hypnosis. Surely you've seen how soccer players approach the opponent's net, passing the ball to each other, knowing that in a few seconds they'll score a great goal. Something similar happened in the Norwegian League match between Rosenborg and Viking. It was going to be a beautiful bicycle kick that would probably make history if any of the players had hit the ball. Well, what can we say? These guys became famous after all. Is it possible to synchronize a goal celebration when it's something sudden? Well, yes, it's easy. Look how Luke Shaw and Wayne Rooney did it.
Jenkinson with a header, and it's... Jenkinson with a header, and it's... Jenkinson with a header, and it's...
Sometimes, surprising examples of synchronization can be found beyond the football pitch and grandstand. Sometimes strange and almost identical actions occur in very different games, 40 years apart. To realize this, you have to be very attentive and very, very fond of football. See it for yourself. Here is George Graham's goal against Liverpool on the 28th of November 1970. And here is Lucas Podolski's goal on the 22nd of November 2012, but this time to Montpellier.
Oxlade-Chamberlain's gone down. Here's Podolski! What a goal that was!
By the way, both players at the time were playing for Arsenal.
Oxlade-Chamberlain's gone down. Here's Podolski! What a goal that was! Linking with Olivier Giroud.
Whatever you say, John Terry is an exceptional player who has made history in world football. 5 times champion of England. In the past, Terry and David Luiz played well together, and Luiz continues to call his former teammate the best player in Chelsea's history. And to understand how good they felt on the pitch, just watch this short video. They even move the same way. And this is probably one of our favourite videos on today's list. Defenders Kevin Martin and Derek Fisher are a little, let's say, too dramatic. It was a perfect synchronous performance, falling backwards, angry and hands up. We wonder if these two ever thought of changing the basketball court for a swimming pool. They seem to have potential.
Gives it up. Outside to Beverly.
A double flopper. Two of the best.
Thunder protecting the patient. Here he is, he's going to the basket.
Two flop. How about that?
Actually, it's not so easy to spot the synchronization of athletes. You have to watch their every move very carefully. For example, just a second, and what a great jump by Dennis Smith Jr. and Dwight Powell.
Being in the conference finals, or no worries about...
Watch the way she moves, Nina. She's imprecise yet beautiful. Watch as she becomes the Black Swan.
And here, 5 players act like one at a time. This is the Phoenix Suns Professional Basketball Club from Arizona, USA. Tried to defend against such a powerful attack. Didn't you notice? Well, take a closer look at the players who tie their shoelaces. They appear on the screen for just a couple of seconds, but even in such a short period of time, they do the same thing. Most of the time, the players who synchronize with each other are players from the same team. Well, that's understandable, because they probably have the same behavior strategies. But what about a player and his coach? For example, Jamal Murray has obviously always listened very carefully to his Denver Nuggets coach, Michael Malone.
Here he is, he's going to the basket.
Huh? Sometimes a small detail is enough to start the synchronization process. Other times, even a referee's whistle can cause it.
Table Marcus Pachulia bumps into Aldridge.
A coordinated attack is half the success of any match, regardless of the sport. What can we say about cases where the actions of athletes are not only coordinated, but literally the same? That's the case of Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins, who play together for the New Orleans Pelicans. Just look at them. They look like two robots that perfectly copy each other's movements, machines created for victory. Sometimes they say that to defeat an opponent, whoever they are, you have to think exactly like them. Usually this piece of advice is widely used in detective series, but in sports, just during a basketball game, it can also be used. And you can start, yes, for example, with full synchronization with your opponent before the attack. And these guys, look at them. They even hit their hands the same way. Who taught them that? The author of this video called the synchronization of Chris Paul and Trevor Ariza almost creepy. We think the athletes just understand each other very well. At first glance, it seems that in the video there are images from 2 different sources, because 4 athletes can't move so synchronously at the same time, but it is possible. Incredible precision. Okay, well, when it's people that synchronize, it's understandable and even pretty simple, to a certain extent. After all, there are even sports like synchronized swimming, but what about total synchronization of cars? Of course, drivers are responsible for this beauty, but in this case, in addition to the drifting skills and the power of the Aston Martin and the Mercedes SLS Sportster, drivers enter the curve at the same time thanks to a huge dose of good luck.
Whoa, there she goes. There she goes. Whoa, there she goes. Between synchronized sliding.
Have we mentioned synchronized swimming yet? Well, we have another interesting example here. Arranging your hair in a synchronized way during a talk show. It's not that spectacular, of course, but at least they haven't rehearsed.
No, está bien, pero o sea, chupás del surtidor, le pegás 12 cupitajos y lo llenás
And this video was filmed during the warm-up of the Washington Redskins football team at FedEx Field in Maryland. Yeah, you're not even watching the game, you're watching the preparation. But imagine what these guys can do if they're so synchronized, even during a regular training session. A real team, regardless of the sport, always acts as a single organism. And by always, we mean always, whether it's during a game, during training, or in the middle of a press conference. Dude, are you looking for new technologies and great gadgets? Are your thoughts focused on the future? Do you love huge vehicles and can't imagine your life without robots around you? Then visit TechZone and you'll find all this and more. The link is in the description. You interested? Great.